it's Julie Creek from Creek Bank Creations. I'm excited to be with you here today to share with you the new Pefect Petals stamp and die set. This is a set that I've wanted to create for quite a while, so I'm really excited to be able to share it with you today. You are going to be able to cut and create your own flowers, stamped and die cut, without the white edge on the outside line. We don't have a black line on these flowers. They're stamped and die cut with this set. I'm going to turn the camera down and show you how it works. So these flowers are super fun and they're meant to be funky. So if you're one of those people that like have a bunch of rules and a certain way it's supposed to look and all that, then hang on to your hat because this is going to be a wild ride. They're meant to be fun and funky. So these are some that I've already made, and I just want to show you, we will be talking later about this particular card base. It is called the Happy Flappy, and those flowers are actually sized to fit on the Happy Flappy, and they also fit in the envelope box card. I don't have a sample yet, but they do. So I'm going to show you today how to make these really fun flowers, and this is the Pefect Petals stamp and die set. Now I am working with a stamp board, and I do recommend that you have a stamp board of some kind. This is the Misty stamp board, and I have a extra panel that I have in my stamp board, and it is just taped on, and then it has a piece of our stencil tape on the edge, and I have that so that when I go to line up my stamps, I'm going to get my stamps here, and I'm going to set them on there. We'll do several different styles here, and it's kind of fun. You can do all these at once. Now I've got them on there so that the flat side is face up, the stamped image is down. I'm going to close the door, and when I pick them up, they're going to all transfer to the other side. This just enables me that if there's any ink residue on here, I don't have to worry about it transferring over onto my cardstock. I have watercolor paper that I've already put in the board, and I do recommend that you use cold pressed 140 pound cardstock, watercolor cardstock, and we do have that on our website. So to get started, I am going to choose 3 colors of ink, and today I have It's a Girl, Rockin' Red, and Samba. I don't have room for all of them up here. That's what we're using. We're going to start with the lightest color, and we are going to ink these up, and we are going to stamp. Now, this does not have to be perfect. If you get an uneven stamp, it doesn't really matter because we're going to put water on it and mess around with it anyway. And I want you to see how that's kind of uneven, not really great. We're going to put another layer of ink on and stamp. Okay, and then I am going to take the mister, and this is our mister, and we're just going to put a really light mist on that. The great thing about the mister is that it gives you a really fine mist, and it doesn't, there's no big blobs. It's just super fine mist, which is what I wanted. Now, what we have are 2 other colors of ink that we're going to add into this project. So I am going to take that ink pad, and I'm going to drag it up from the edge, from the outside edge up into my stamp, and I'm just going to work my way around. And honestly, there's not a right or wrong way to do this. I am using the Catherine Pooler inks, so if you have a different brand of ink, you'll kind of have to mess around with how that works for you as far as your ink pad style. And you can see I'm just building up some ink color on the outside. I'm going to come back in and add Rockin' Red, and I'm going to pull up into the stamp further because I know I'm going to die cut that, and that outside edge is going to be cut off a lot. So there's our second color. And got a nice color going there. Now I'm going to go one more time. And any area that I feel like I want more coverage, I'm going to hit again. And I'm going to take the mister and give myself, make sure I get it, mist it, and we're going to stamp. Now when I stamp this time, I'm going to push that down, and I kind of want to make sure that the water is getting pressed into that watercolor paper. We have a really nice look there. Now, I really want, honestly, a little more ink. I'm going back more. You might not need to go again, but I really want to hit that inside right there. So just depends how much ink you have, how many times you want to hit it. I'm going to hit it again. There we go. Now, what I'm going to do is take the mister and I'm going to spray this on there, give myself a little more water, and I am going to take the re-inker. This stamp set actually comes with little pieces that you can stamp on the inside of these flowers, like the actual stamp, but I really found I like doing this better. Just going to take the re-inker and I'm going to set it on there, and I'm going to let that sit. I'm going to take my Wonder Wipe, clean off my board over here. And the Wonder Wipe is what we use to clean our stamps and stencils, and I just have water on there. I'm going to remove these. I am going to put a stamped image on the inside of this flower. There is a specific stamp for that. So I am going to grab that, set it on there, and I am just waiting for that other to just kind of soak down into the paper. I'm going to take the Rockin' Red. Now I have found when I do these inside pieces, and it works really well to spray that, because it'll give you more of a distorted look. It barely shows up. It is not dominant. It's just a little accent piece. Now, I still have this going, and I am going to hit this with more water because I really want that ink, there it goes, to start moving. And I want to show you what that looks like close up. And I'm going to spray it again because I really want you to see how the ink starts moving around. Okay, so just depending on what you want, how wet you want it, you're going to get a different look. But this is really how the ink starts moving around, and you get this really creative look out of it. Now, I'm going to hit this with a heat gun to speed up the process. When I make these at home, I make several of these at the same time, and then they start drying. By the time one's done, the other's dry. But if you need to, just grab your heat gun, put some heat on it. That is absolutely beautiful. Now, you might want to get a water brush and play around with this with the water brush, moving color around. I'm really happy with how this one turned out, so I'm not going to do that, but that's a whole nother thing that you can do. And you might be saying to yourself, really, that really looks like a mess, Julie. But it's gonna be awesome, just wait. Now we're gonna take the dies and we are going to set them on top of our design. And you can see when I have mine on my little sheet here that I just keep that little piece of stencil tape on those, and then I'm ready to set them on. Now you'll have to kind of work with where these dies sit on top of that stamped image. I'm kind of used to it because I've made several of these, but as you set them down, you know, you might have to work it around to get it to fit correctly. And what we have here is a die that is smaller than the stamped image, which means I do not have a white line. So I have die cut my images. I'm just going to put a little bit of undo on that tape to loosen up my tape, and then I will flip those dies over on the sheet. I have my flowers beautifully created and die cut. And then this is the fun part. I'm going to take the Jelly Roll pen in white, and you can use it. I like to use the 8 or the 10. These come in different sizes, but they really do well for lining and adding detail. So I'm just going to take that Jelly Roll pen and just have fun with my designs, making dots and squiggles and lines. And that really is what brings these little flowers to life. You can just make little scalloped pieces on the edges, add your lines, and we will get some really good close-up images of these flowers that I will add so you can see them. I'll drop those pictures in here so you can see close-up what I'm doing as I go in, and I just add the detail, and you can really have fun creating with these. Really fun if you take your centers, put some little circles in there, and you could leave it like that with just the circles, or you can come in and add that fun and funky shape on the outside. And I don't even know if you can see that. We're going to pull that up and let you see what that created. So I just want to encourage you to get creative with the ink, get creative with the pen and the color, and there's not a wrong or a right way to do this. It's just meant to be fun. Let me pull these up so you can see close up what those look like. Super califragilisticexpialidocious. Now, this set also has been designed to work and coordinate with the Floral Fields paper pad. And you can see here, we've got some amazing color for these. You can make your flowers and then use the paper pad for your background. These are beautiful. They'll make beautiful Mother's Day cards or get well cards or thinking of you birthday cards. Super amazing. So I just want to go over with you briefly how I created the leaf images. Your set has those leaf images, and I'm stamping that with just a basic green color. If I want to add the detail, the fine detail of the inside of that leaf, which those pieces are included in the stamp set, then I'm going to go in and just stamp it with my green, just like I did the inside of that flower where I stamped it and then I sprayed it with water. And that is just a very, very hint of color where that stem goes. I'm not really sure that it's necessary, but it does look nice. I hope you've enjoyed this video on how to make these beautiful perfect petal flowers. You can find these products on our website. There will be clickable links in the description below.